Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, scholars and dignitaries, welcome to another episode. Welcome to my world. Hello friends, so here's the story for today, a true story. There was a deep ops CIA agent who came forth a few years back who publicly stated that, quote, any machine or device that anyone can possibly ever think of, we've already invented it. Time travel, anti-gravity, warp drive, spaceships to other planets, laser guns. The agent said he worked on many such black projects and even off-budget black op programs, which were kept hidden from any federal budgets or public scrutiny. Of course, he asked, understandably so, to be kept anonymous. So if you listen to him and many others who worked on ultra-sensitive projects like MKUltra, you begin to give some credibility into these reports. Now, one claim that seemed to be made right out of a science fiction book, but which has gained some serious traction for both truth and validity, is a television set that could look back through time. Using this machine called a chronovisor, viewers could watch and record past events, including past historical events. Father Pellegrino Ernetti was a scientist. He was an Italian physicist who later became a priest, a Benedictine monk. He told the story of how a team of scientists, led by Father Ernetti himself, had invented a chronovisor or time viewer. Several people noted that he was talking publicly about this chronovisor during the 1960s, but no news articles really appeared about the machine until 1972, when an article was published called A Machine That Photographs the Past Has Been Invented. So, what is a chronovisor? Father Ernetti reported that his chronovisor was a device that somewhat resembled a television. The difference was that it was a scientific instrument that was capable of tuning into the past and thus allowed viewers to see and hear events that occurred years or perhaps even centuries earlier. The chronovisor was described as a large cabinet with a cathode ray tube for viewing the received events and had a series of buttons and levers and other controls for selecting the time and the location to be viewed. It worked by finding and reproducing residual electromagnetic radiation and the audio component or sound waves which were left behind by past events as they occurred. It could even locate and track specific individuals. In essence, the chronovisor was able to detect and connect onto waves of sights and sounds that were, quote, made in the past and which continue to float through space. Father Ernetti claimed that he had observed many past historical moments while watching his chronovisor. He said he observed the actual French conqueror Napoleon. He saw the Roman philosopher Cicero, and he saw a performance of a lost play Thyestes by Roman poet Quintus Ennius. Most importantly, Father Ernetti claimed he witnessed the actual crucifixion of Jesus Christ. He said, we saw everything, the betrayal by Judas, the agony in the garden, the trial, and Calvary. Father Ernetti said he began wondering about all the sights and sounds that humans make and if they just disappear or if they continue to exist in some way. His curiosity brought him to approach several world-famous scientists, and together they formed a team to work on and eventually build the chronovisor. Father Ernetti actually named two members of his team, Werner von Braun, the German rocket scientist, later known for being the father of the American space effort, and Enrico Fermi, who is one of the designers of the first atomic bomb. After developing the chronovisor and using it successfully, Father Ernetti said that the team eventually agreed to dismantle it because of how dangerous it could be if it ended up in the wrong hands. He was afraid that the chronovisor could create the, quote, most fearsome dictatorship the world has ever seen. Of course, such wide claims as a time machine television also brings out a certain number of conspiracy theorists. Today, some people claim not that the entire story was a fraud, but that Father Ernetti never actually destroyed the chronovisor. Rather, they claim the chronovisor was secretly seized by the Vatican and is still being used today to help governments and their economies all over the world. They claim that Father Ernetti's secret fearsome dictatorship he guarded against was an unwarranted concern and never actually happened. Several people that Father Ernetti spoke to testify that he maintained right up until his death that the chronovisor was real and worked as well as he had planned. He never did produce any part of the machine nor any scientific papers or theories to support his stance, and a couple of pieces of evidence he did provide were called into question as possibly being forged. Nonetheless, Father Pellegrino Ernetti remains an enigma. He himself was part of a paradox which could have been easily resolved if he so chose. But then again, maybe he was right. Perhaps governments, corporations, and dictatorships are not to be trusted, especially when there is such a powerful machine that could be used to change the future course of history, a machine that could be used not just for better, but also for worse. Hey, be safe, be well, and God bless.